Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
Hello, hello. How are you, Dr. Nildz? We're back.
Yes, and thank you. We're back again. And today is going to be a big day for all of us, especially with our guests.
Yes, Dr. Nildz, it's been, 3 months since we're off the grid. This is our third season, and we are happy to express our gratitude to Lawin Media Network for providing us another season. Guys, 13 episodes. And we are we're excited actually to welcome you back.
Yes.
And especially our two extra distinguished guests for today.
So again, magandang araw, good day, and a warm hello to all our listeners in the Philippines, the USA, and across the globe. So we welcome you to Teacher Talk with Mom Cora and Dr. Nildz, a space where stories, wisdom, and experience in education come alive. Together, we'll explore the joys, the challenges, and triumphs of teaching, learning, and leading as we build bridges that connect culture, communities, and hearts.
Wow. So we go again. So, what has been going on with you, Dr. Nildz, for the past 3 months? Have you been busy? Well,
Yeah.
for me, we are preparing for the closing, and I bet our guests also are also doing the same thing. So, we're wrapping up. We are done with the state testing. We are waiting for the NWEA test will be coming 2 weeks from now. And then we're going to end our school year this coming June the 3rd, I believe. So what
Okay.
about you?
Well, just like you, wrapping up all the state testing, and then, of course, preparing for closing exercises for our students, especially elementary, intermediate, our middle school, and those who are going to high school, and of course, those transitioning to the college. So it's a lot in our plate. I know our guests can relate to us because we are experiencing the same thing. But what is important is we're here to serve our children, our families, and communities. That's why we have Teacher Talk, live Chikahan. So this is it. This is where we inspire educators, connecting communities, and again, empowering our futures.
That's true. Our teachers are all excited to get their summer break now. And I am having conversation with a lot of our cultural exchange teachers and, asking them if they were able to receive their contract for next school year. And they're all telling me that they did. And most of them have already planned to go back and regroup, meet their families again, get excited for the next school year. We're coming back by August the 1st. Our school district will be opened by school district. So our teachers have At least if they are not going to teach summer school, then they have 2 months to go and enjoy their breaks. So we are now going to start our third season. Dr. Neil, what is
Yes.
our theme for
So our
today?
theme for this season is gonna be a part one because we'll have a part two for the next 2 weeks from now, which is the third week. And by the way, we change for our viewers, we change our schedule. It's gonna be now the first and the third week of the month. So please stay tuned. So for this episode, we're going to have part one, Filipino administrator in the United States. And our topic is going to be Kapik Basic Leadership, Filipino style administrator, building stronger U.S. school. Can you give us one of our, by the way, we always share to you our objectives so you see where coming from. So we just don't, you know, talk and talk here. We want to make sure that we are in constant and consistently, aligned with what we were talking here. So first of all, we would like to give you our objective, and Ma'am Cora will say the first one.
Okay, so we want to explore how administrators make decisions, respond to challenges, and apply leadership frameworks grounded in Filipino values such as malasakit, pakikipagkapwa, respeto, and bayanihan. This is all the way understanding leadership approaches and decision-making processes. We are also going to
Yes, and second is,
yeah, go ahead, Dr. Neil.
yeah, we want to identify how administrators support instructional quality, curriculum implementation, teacher development, and of course, student learning outcomes within their school environment. So this is where we examine strategies for improving teaching and learning.
That's right. We also want to learn how school leaders, especially our distinguished guest for today, how to address teacher workload, burnout, recognition, professional growth, and overall morale in a high pressured educational system. This is where we're going to assess how our leaders, our Filipino administrators, assess or approaches to support their teachers, how they retain their teachers, and especially how they take care of their wellness.
And of course, last but not the least, we would like to understand how administrators build partnership with parents, of course, their leaders, local organizations, and the broader community to support student success and school improvement. And this is where we explore community engagement and, of
Mhm.
course, with our stakeholders or our collaboration with them. Yes. And without further ado, we would like to introduce our guests. Would you like to go first, Ma'am Cora?
Um, we are going to present to you our distinguished guests, and I would like to introduce my professor, Dr. Tito Villosillo. Dr. Tito Villosillo is a luminary in the field of education. Began in illustrious 22 years of career at the University of San Jose Recoletos. It was here where he laid the groundwork for his future accomplishments, earning a bachelor's degree in elementary education with specialization in English. This early success set the stage for his transformative contributions to the field of education. Driven by his unyielding thirst for knowledge, Dr. Villosillo pursued a master's degree in English language teaching at Cebu Normal University, marking the inception of his pursuit of educational leadership. Further fortifying his expertise, he earned dual master's degree from the renowned Louisiana State University in gifted and talented education and educational leadership. He also completed his Doctor of Philosophy in Development Administration, major in Educational Governance last May 2023, and recently graduated and completed his postdoctorate in Strategic Management and Leadership last July 2024. He is working on his second doctorate, a Doctor of Education in Educational Management, and hopes to graduate mid year. He works as an assistant principal at High Point High School in Prince George County public school system. Dr. Villosillo is a driving force in the school community. His leadership and expertise are unwavering, and he is committed to further enriching the school community. His ultimate goal is to become a school principal, a vision he actively pursues through continuous professional development. His vision is to be a future leadership in beacon hope for the school community and the field of education at large. Dr. Villosillo influence extends far beyond the school environment. As a community leader in Louisiana, he led the Filipino Educators Federation of Louisiana, a movement of 300 teachers advocating for their rights against agencies' injustices, demonstrating his unwavering leadership and vigorous advocacy for educators' rights. Furthermore, from 2008 to 2018, he played a pivotal role in the Filipino American Association of Greater Baton Rouge, okay, community in Louisiana before relocating to Maryland. His deep-rooted commitment to community service is evident in his impactful outreach program he has organized in collaboration with the Philippine Embassy in Chicago. These efforts underscore his dedication to serving the community and for fostering positive global relationship for which he is deeply appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, Filipinas, America, we want to welcome Dr. Tito Villosillo. There you go. Good morning, Doc.
Yeah, we
There
have
is our Doc. We do have a technical difficulties because there you go.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, kaya medyo garbled. It's not that good, but we could hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good morning. Good morning.
There you go.
Good morning, Ma'am Nildz, and good morning to our listeners and viewers in the Philippines and here in the United States. Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be here today.
We are
Yes,
so
we are.
excited also. And
Welcome.
welcome. Thank you. Of course, our next guest is a very, I would say, well-known individual in the area of Mesquite and the Dallas area. So Dr. Evangelista is a graduate of UP Los Baños, having completed the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. She moves to the US with an H-1B visa and completed her Master's in Education Administration from Lamar University, while at the same time she's a full-time science teacher in Dallas ISD. With her success in state tests in the classroom, she was hired as an instructional coach to train, grow, and support teachers, leading to a significant increase in the EOC passing rate from 69% to 91% in one academic year. So really, very amazing job. Her expertise in instruction and coaching opened the path for her to be an assistant principal. So in this capacity, she oversaw different departments, including science, math, special education, social studies, language, and other English and advanced placement and dual credits classes. She is completing her ninth year as a school administrator at the end of this month. So, congratulations. On a personal note, she is married to her college sweetheart and she is busy traveling
Mhm.
internationally or spending time developing and enhancing her spiritual life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you our very own, I will say, the best, and I will say also um, a well-deserved educator in the U.S., none other than Dr. Loren Evangelista. We cannot hear you, Dr. Evangelista. No, things happen like this.
That's what happened if it is live.
Yeah, it's live. But she was talking earlier and she said hello to everyone. Things. All right. Is your audio
All
working now,
right.
Dr. Evangelista? Yes. All right. I think we can have a break for now. Um, Mom Cora, what do you think? Let's have a break let's pause for a break before we go to our next question. Or I will say our question for the day.
Yeah,
In
we
a
do.
world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories, from elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits. I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
All right.
Hey, we're
We're
back.
back. Let's see. Dr. Evangelista, how are you, ma'am? Oh, we cannot hear you. Okay. I don't know what's happening here. Okay. Can she patch in through the phone? Can you also go through your phone probably, and that way we can see you here, but you can also click the link to your mobile phone so we can hear you. We can have your audio.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Yes.
Awesome.
Perfect.
All right. Hi,
Thank
good
you.
morning. Thank you for having me here.
Good morning.
Of course, we are delighted that you're here, Dr. Evangelista, in spite of that busy schedule. And according to her, she just came in like 2 o'clock a.m. in the morning. But look where she is right now. She's very professional. And thank you so much. This is what, you know, educators are. We strike everywhere. So if it's time, we come, and here we are. And we're so glad that you are here. Thank you so much. Mom Cora, would you like to
Okay.
start our
Yeah.
uh, see our talk show?
Okay. So, Dr. Evangelista, you look so fresh, just like Dr. Tito. Dr. Tito's been traveling so much too, right, Doc?
That's correct. Whenever I have an opportunity to travel, I always do because the work that we have is really stressful, and so whenever we have a break, I always make a point to travel somewhere and just to recharge and learn a lot of new things and meet a lot of new people, and so in that way I can relax and come back stronger.
Well, both of you guys really look look so refreshed and recharged. Okay, so with that, our main focus is really to explore how administrators, particularly Philippine administrators, make decision in response to the challenges that we are experiencing. How are we as a teacher leader and as a Filipino manage such challenges? In a recent research that I uh, presented to Dr. Villosillo before, we focus on teacher challenges, particularly burnout, uh, those who are resigning and moving from teaching position to another field. So I would like to present a research on this, and we'll see how we apply our skills and decision making on this one. Uh, Teacher challenges continue to change educational system. And in 2024 and 2025, there are such issues that we face affecting districts across urban and suburban, particularly rural areas. The greatest needs are seen in special education, STEM field, bilingual education, and high need schools. Factors such as school educators burnout, retirement, compensation concern, and decline teacher preparation enrollment, particularly in main or big districts. In these slides, you will see teacher without full certification and unfilled positions for all reporting states. This was taken from the Department of Education 2023. So there will be a comparison in 2024 and 25, and the metrics are stated right here. Estimated in 2024, estimated minimum number of teachers not fully certified for their teaching assignment is 365,044. If you are going to look at 2025, there is an estimated minimum, the same metric, what I mean, 365,967. There is an increase of around 900 plus teachers who are uncertified. Now, when you look at the total estimated number of teaching positions unfilled by teachers not fully certified for their teaching assignments, there is 406,964. And if you are going to compare that in 2025, last year, 411,549, there is an increase of about 4,000 plus. So this is in comparison of a year. So looking at the perspective of 2026, 2027, we are going to experience more than that because there's no change in terms of the system of the education that we have. Now, being a Filipino leader in our own school, maybe I'm ready to give you our first question on the basis of all of these challenges, okay? I'm going to ask both of you, right, Nildz?
Yes.
Both questions will be given to both of our panelists today, okay? Now, how do you describe yourself as a Filipino administrator? So looking at your own perspective, how were you going to describe yourself? Maybe we could start with Dr. Loren.
Oh, hi. I was thinking. First, as an individual, not even as an administrator, just as an individual, I always value excellence.
Mhm.
That's actually who I am. In everything I do, I want. It's not perfectionism. It's just doing the best that I could. So I grew up I grew up at the grounds of UPLB, from elementary to high school, UP High School to UPLB University. And so therefore, I have always been surrounded by people who have been excellent in their field of work. So in everything that I do as an administrator and as an individual, that is something that I always put forth as like my priority. And that actually led to my position as an assistant principal, because even Dr. Tito, is that it? Tito,
Yeah.
knows that as an immigrant, it is very difficult to land this position if we do not excel in our field. And so, second is, and this is my middle name, which is accountability. So, as a leader, I value accountability. I make sure that my expectations are clear. I communicate that at the very beginning, how I measure people based on the rubrics that are given to us by the state, so that we can work together and I will be able to support them as much as I could. And it's not just laying out a foundation or how we will do things, but what is important is to be able to give proper support. Proper support to the teachers by coaching, by mentoring, by modeling, and at the same time, making sure that we do follow up, because it is not just enough for us to be able to give us the expectation. What is important is for us to follow up so that we can tighten loose ends, so that we will be able to grow teachers. We will be able to identify the strengths and the weaknesses, and at the end, be able to achieve our goals. um, One thing more, excuse me, as a leader, I give honest feedback. And that's what I learned. That is me being a Filipino administrator, because a lot of Filipinos value excellence, a lot of Americans value excellence and accountability as well. But the difference between a feedback and an honest and of an effective feedback is being honest. So when you go to an interview like J1 or H1B on an H1B visa, you get to an interview and people will say, "Oh, great, we're great, that's great, a great answer." And then you get to think, why did I not get the job? Why was I not hired? Because everything is great. But then feedback needs to be specific and feedback needs to be honest, because that's how we grow people. You don't leave my coaching feedback knowing that you are great, but not learning why you are great. And I think that is what leadership is. And coming from an instructional coach position, I learned that that is one of my strengths, by making people comfortable so that they will be able to open up, they will be able to have a voice, and make sure that they are being heard. And that is not difficult for us Filipinos, because we are naturally warm. We are very accommodating. It's something inherent in us. So where people are very direct or very, like, they would just say that matter of fact, we don't I don't sugarcoat it, but the way we say things is out of respect. We actually give so much consideration to their feelings, but still hitting the target. So as a leader, I would say that I also celebrate, because what is the important thing of all this, beyond this excellence and accountability and open feedback, is human connection. You will not do all of this if people are not open to you, if there is nothing that you can connect to it. So people, even in the classroom, students will do work for you if they like you. Teachers do the same. If they like you, if they feel that you welcome them, if you feel that you respect them, then they will also welcome your feedback. And especially if it is an honest feedback, then therefore you are connecting and you are building trust. I think that's who I am as a leader.
I like the way you said, Dr. Evangelista, when you emphasize human connection. It is indeed a typical Filipino, value that we always connect. We always connect our people to the students, and that makes us really, standing out, right? What about you, Dr. Villosillo? Dr. Villosillo, can I just call you Dr. Tito?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like, yeah, that's fine. It's okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. Thank you.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I do agree with what Dr. Evangelista said. As she mentioned about making sure that you are clear with your setting expectation, accountability, excellence, supporting teachers, and providing honest feedback. I do agree with that as an administrator and as an educator as well. Well, in my personal thoughts about how I describe myself or how I apply Filipino style in my leadership style here in the United States, whenever I go, whenever I do, I always embody about the values that I have learned back home, the values that my parents and my community, my family inculcated in me, and apply that to my everyday life and also to my leadership styles here in the US. One of the things that I would also highlight is that my grandmother is a teacher. My mom is also a teacher. So I always have that public service setup or the Lincoln Bayan spirit. I
Mhm.
always have that value also of kalinga, which is care, showing care to your teachers and show care to your students as well. Particularly that I am a 12th grade administrator this year. I have about 600 students that are graduating. And it's not always perfect. You always have these students who will not do the work, who are failing. And so you have to constantly talk to them, encourage them, push them to do well so that they can graduate comes June 1st. And one of the things also that I'd like also to share, or the values that I always apply in my leadership style, is to recognize human being. We're working with human beings, whether it is a teacher or whether it is a student. You have to recognize them that they have also feelings. So we have to listen to them. We have to understand them, where they're coming from. That is the spirit. That is the value of being makatao, right? And
Mhm.
also, as a leader, you're not just there. Do not put yourself on the top of the pedestal that you are unreachable. You have to be pakumbaba. Like you have to be very humble, and also I always apply also the spirit of bayanihan, which is the collaborative framework. I cannot do the job alone.
Yes.
As people would always say, or as the old cliche would always say, like it takes a village to um, develop a human being, like as a student or as a student or as a child. I cannot do it alone. And so I always make it a point that I have this collaborative and community support at the core of everything that I do. I always strive to create an environment where every students and every teachers and staff feel that they belong to the school, that they belong to one community, that they are also being supportive. Just like who we are as Filipinos, we always have this spirit of a close-knit family ties. So those are some of the values that I usually apply and use it in my leadership skills. And I find it very unique because, again, we are different from my other counterparts, my other colleagues who are Americans.
Thank you, Doc Tito. It is really amazing how we reflect our values in the way we manage our own school, particularly being an assistant principal or a principal or whatever position, right, Dr. Neil?
Yes, I think this is very important. Not only shows how Filipino values is really important as we grow up and bring this values that we have. I call this breeding. You know how our parents train us and discipline us. So wherever I go, I always look on that Proverbs 6:22, train up the child in the way he should go. So when they grow up, they will not depart from it. I believe that's how our parents raise up all of us from the Philippines as we go here. And I think not only here in the United States, everywhere Filipino goes, they excel. Not only educators, nurses, name it, because
Yes.
we are here to just give whatever we have. That's why you will see Philippines is what people who are skilled always, bring it to everywhere in the global world. So thank you so much, Dr. Tito and Dr. Lorraine, for those insights that you got. So with this in mind, also, I'd like to share also that in today's increasingly diverse educational landscape, school administrators are also called to lead with both cultural awareness and strategic insight. So Filipino administrator in particular's leadership is often shaped by deeply rooted cultural values, just like
Mhm.
bayanihan, pakikipagkapwa-tao, malasakit, and of course, these are the things that I heard from Dr. Tito, you know.
Mhm.
So these values, however, have led our leaders approach in their, in making their decision making. This is also their use to build relationship and response to a complex challenges within their school communities. So therefore, as we explore your leadership in action, it's important to consider how these culturally grounded principles, as I shared earlier, are integrated with our established leadership, as this becomes our framework to foster collaboration, trust, and of course, inclusive problem solving. So, with this in mind, I would like to ask both of you. Oh no, this question is going to be for Dr. Lorraine. Dr. Lorraine, so in what way do you think administrators apply leadership framework that reflect Filipino cultural values when addressing complex issues, engaging stakeholders, and guiding their school communities? Thank you.
Well, I believe in every leadership framework that we have. Filipino culture can just be reflected easily. In my work, I have adopted service leadership, and so with the concept of bayanihan, I know that it is very important for us to be present when we are needed, to be able to reach out and be able to provide some kind of support. So in leadership of service, we are able to make people comfortable. We are able to make people feel that they belong. And also, it's one way of being humble to cover classes when you need to, so that so that the teacher can go to the restroom. Cover classes when yeah, cover classes when we're out of substitutes, especially during pandemic. I had to be in the hallway covering two classes because we needed to. And I remember a teacher saying that you're the only administrator I have seen doing this. But and then they learned that we are acting out of service. We are not someone above them. We are their partners. So I think what is important here is we walk the talk. We cannot just say, "Oh, I'm operating on the framework of leadership." It's how we as leaders humble ourselves and be able to be available to our teachers when they need us. There are teachers who just
Yes.
to leave early, like 30 minutes before school ends. Do they need to file an absence? No. You can distribute you can have someone who have a conference period you have a good relationship with to cover your class. You can distribute your classes if there is no one available, your students, when there is no one available. And if needed, I go there in the classroom and cover for the last 30 minutes, because that's how we are as leaders. We want to support teachers. And so with this, we feel the teachers actually feel the warmth, they feel the sincerity, and they feel that they are supported. Now, the feeling of belongingness in a service leadership is really tight. So even me, I don't even ask my teachers to, hey, let's get out, after work, go out after work and have some margarita. Teachers feel like, I think this is a margarita day. When especially during these days, right, when state testing are done and students feel like it's already the end of the day, so of the year, so it's kind of like it's difficult. And teachers would say, it's a margarita day, let's go. And I'm included in that because they feel that I make them belong, and they make me feel I belong in their group as well. So belongingness, that act of service allows us to have not only belongingness but the trust that they know that you will always be there in case of emergency, in case of fun, and everything that is discussed confidentially is not being taken against them as a teacher and an administrator relationship. It's more of a colleague relationship when we get out. One thing more in a service leadership is allowing teachers to come to you, have an open door policy so that there will be diversity in opinions, diversity in thoughts and in ideas, and teachers feel that they are being valued and they have a voice. So this actually leads to the another framework which I also adopted, which is the authentic leadership, where we are transparent with our teachers, whatever is happening. I remember back in the days when I was a teacher, and I would say, and students will tell me, "Hey, we have this coming up," and I'm kind of like, "Why did I not know that? Why do students need to know before teachers need to know?" And then I know it has evolved already. Now administrators are more aware that, hey, we need to know, we need to actually tell the teachers first before students would know. And that is in my what call this in my mind always, that teachers need to be in the loop always because they are our partners. And with this transparency, we need to be consistent. We need to be consistent. Authenticity is being sincere, is being transparent, is being consistent, that we always apply the guidelines to each one of them in a fair manner, that we are objective. And this builds integrity. The small act of kindness, the small act of consistency towards fairness, this actually builds up to integrity and our legacy as administrators. So when they know that, hey, that you are with Dr. Evangelista, they know I go for excellence. They know that I treat them fairly. They know that I treat them as a human being. And I think as Filipinos, that's who we are. That's how we want done. And I know the political scenario in the Philippines now is different, where we cannot always say excellence. I hope that academic institutions in the Philippines are still, in the excellent mode. And it's something that we need to make sure that we are known for as administrators and even as teachers. We are no different from teachers. We are still educators. I know I'm a veterinary. I'm a veterinarian in the Philippines, but I have been teaching for like 24. I have been in the educational field for 24 years, and so my heart is already in the teaching field. And one thing that I value is, as I have said, human relations. People leave their work because of bad bosses, and we don't want to be boss. We want to be leaders.
Mhm.
So we want to be fair in all our. We want to be authentic in all our dealings with our teachers. So basically, that's if I hope I was able to answer your question.
Wow. I will say, wow. It's loaded with so many, I will say, positive words because, not every administrator or leaders in our school can say that. I like it when you say that your framework is kind of transparency. You have your consistency. I will name about respect. And of course, one thing that I like when you say is accountability, which is your middle name, by the way. And I thank you for that because these are the very thing that we needed in our school system. One thing good is, I'm sorry, Mom Cora, it's just that I'm so excited with everything that Dr. Loren said about, how she framework her leadership, which is, I think this is where we're trying to transition, where we need to be open to all of what we're doing. Not unlike before, we're trying to close everything. Only administrator will know this, and then don't share it to the teachers. But what is happening now is we have come to a modern age where we would like everybody to be on the loop. So in that way, everybody will be on the same phase, consistency. And then not only that, it's not only the administrators accountable, but it's also the teachers and of course the student, and where responsibility came in. And then I like what you said about belongingness. I thought about Maslow, hierarchy of needs, where everybody, when everybody's satisfied, it grows what? It grows their confidence. Now they become more excellent because they have all the tools necessary for them to become teachers and leaders in their own in the classroom. Thank you,
That's
Dr. Loren. I'm sorry, Mom Cora, I
that's
said a lot. Go ahead.
That's right, Dr. Neil. To piggyback on that, the idea of authentic leadership really resonates with everyone, particularly with teachers who are not in the circle. You know how administrators have circle of group teachers that they really favor. Now, I am talking on the perspective of a teacher. That's why when Dr. Evangelista said that you have to be an authentic leader, you really have to. Although some culture doesn't see it the way we see it, right? So before we move on to our next question for Dr. Tito, let us have a short break again and pause for a while. And then when we come back, we're going to ask Dr. Tito about strategies that she used in order to promote teacher development. Okay, so guys, be there. Try to be part of the conversation. Make some comment in our Facebook page, uh, and we will read it to you later on. So
Yes.
we're gonna pause for a break. See you in a
And
minute.
thank you again, Dr. Loren, for that beautiful response.
We're
We're
back.
back, Cora. Yeah, before anything else, I'd like to thank Lawin Media Network. Attorney Dizan is watching us. She was saying good morning, Mom Cora and Dr. Nildz. We miss Teacher Talk. Looking forward for today's discussion. Thank you. And we have also Marlene from Pangasinan, Philippines. They're watching. And Mel's Hitch, worth watching. Congratulations to everyone and good morning. Good morning also, Mel's, and thank you for watching. Yes, Ma'am Cora.
Okay, so uh, we need to move on.
Yes.
Earlier, I sent I discussed about the data that we have seen with regard to teacher turnover, teacher retirement, teacher moving out of the education system. With this data, and we know that there is an increasing number of teachers that we need in different schools or in the classroom, as well as certified teachers. Okay.
Mhm.
So, with this, I want to ask Dr. Tito Villosillo about uh, what strategies do administrators use to promote teacher development, instructional improvement, and continuous learning while ensuring alignment with student academic achievements and needs.
All right. Well, thank you, Mom Cora, for that question. So first and foremost, before the beginning of this every school year, what we do is we identify as a school what are our instructional goals and what are also our school improvement goals. After identifying that, it was last year that we also encouraged our teachers to do the Gallup, their professional strength, identifying what are the strengths of our teachers. And so after that, then we were able to identify our school leaders, our school teacher leaders in our building. Some of them become a mentor teacher. Some of them become our ILT,
Mhm.
because you really have to build the capacity of your teachers at the same time. You cannot do it as a school administrators by yourself. You have to pick up those teachers based on their strength. And if they are good in professional development, well, pick out those teachers that would help you create that professional development for the teachers as well. And if you know that that particular teacher is good in mentorship, then then that particular teacher can be a mentor as well. And so with that as well, we also develop our professional development aligned with our school's instructional goals and performance goals. And because we have to make sure that we are being intentional and with our professional development. We want to make sure that this is what the teachers are needing in order to help them in carrying out those lessons in their particular classrooms. We don't want to waste their time. We don't want to give professional development that is not needed, that is not meaningful to them, or that's not relevant to what they are doing inside their classrooms. And on top of that, we also have to make sure that we have differentiated professional development. It's not just the same. Like, for example, we want to focus on classroom management. We want to focus on the use of technology. How can we improve their best practices in their classroom? So it's not just like one side of the professional development, but it is differentiated. Because again, just like our students, our teachers also have different learning styles, correct?
Mhm.
And so
Right.
then on top of that, also we provide also like a program. We have a new teacher what am I say teacher academy program, new teacher academy program. And
Mhm.
most of my teachers said, like, we don't want to say new because like we're not new. And I would always say, like, well, you're new to the building, to the school building. You may not be new as a teacher, but you're new in the building because again, every school has a different climate, right? Has a different
Mhm.
culture. So you have to be acclimated to the school building, and you have to
Mhm.
know what are those so that you can you can join right immediately. It will not take you a long time to embrace of what is the culture of that particular school. So I just rephrased it. We changed it into teacher academy. And so in that, we provide also mentorship for our teachers. We want to make them feel that they're not alone. We want to make them feel that they are, being supportive, being supported by the school district. And if we cannot provide also professional development in our school, we always refer them to the district, because the district all year round, they're also providing professional development for our teachers. On top of that, we also encourage our teachers also to look into other professional development outside of the state, outside, like for example, outside Maryland. We are a community school. We are also a Title I school, so we have a little budget where we can provide professional development. We can send our teachers and our teacher leaders to different conferences, conventions to other
Mhm.
states. And on top of that, we also um, encourage our teachers also to move up to the next level, to grow up into the next ladder of their career. We also give them an opportunity for them. That's why we're picking them mentors, teacher leaders, because we want them to be leaders by themselves in the future.
Mhm.
That's how you also build capacity of your teachers and teacher leaders, and make them also give them an opportunity to shine, give them an opportunity also to show what they can do, or what they're the best they can be the
Mhm.
best asset of the school as well.
Mm. Very good.
Thank you, Dr. Tito. That's
Yes.
very, very much, acknowledged. And me being in, I have been in the classroom for how many? Almost 4 decades, and I have seen what you have said: teacher academy, principal academy, those professional development based on the style, learning ability of the teachers, content area. I have seen all of those, and I really appreciate that you reiterated that. And I
Mhm.
know a lot of our teachers would jump into every opportunity that will be offered to them by their school. And I hope their school leaders and administrators would see the difference of how our Filipino teachers work really hard, how they work really hard in order to move up to the ladder of all your positions there. Okay. Thank you,
Yes.
Dr. Tito, for that.
Yes, Mom Cora, just to again to follow up with that, I like how Dr. Tito says that, the teachers becomes leaders too. And what happened is they make sure that they encourage them. I love that when the administration will encourage, will have positive feedback for the teachers because that will make them more confident to pursue higher goals, right? Just like where you are right now. And I know Dr. Loren also started on that, teacher level. And all of us Filipinos, Mom Cora and I, all of us will always have this, of course, goal of not only to be in the classroom, but at the same time, even though we are classroom teachers, we are also leaders in our own special way because we mentor, we're coaching other. And that's one way for us to move on a different, I will say, ladder or different space where our talent and abilities are being recognized. So thank you so much for that. Yes, ma'am. So with this in mind, I've been talking. I'd like to say this on another note that our leaders today. So there is also what I say increasingly demanding educational landscape. So school leaders are challenged not only to ensure student success, but also to sustain the well-being, effectiveness, and retention of the teachers, which I said mentioned earlier. So there's always a high expectations, involving instructional demands and diverse student needs, which contributes to increasing workloads and at times burnout among educators. So as a result, is it essential for school leaders to create positive, or I will say positive and supportive system that prioritize teacher wellness, recognize contributions, foster professional growth, and of course, build positive and collaborative culture. With this in mind, I'd like to ask Dr. Lorraine, as a school leader, how do you address teacher workload, burnout, recognition, professional growth, and overall morale in high pressure educational environment? Then, of course, to follow up, what specific actions or supports have been most effective in retaining teachers in your school?
Okay. How do we address teacher workload? First, we have to consider our budget. The workload starts with the finances. Like, for example, now our district is having financial difficulties, so we are letting go of a number of teachers. That means it has an impact on the remaining teachers depending, on their workload. So as much as I want to give them, for example, one prep, they can have two preps because of this effect. And so another one is they will have a additional prep, or they will have a higher number of students in the classroom. Second thing that we consider for the teacher workload is certification. So I have teachers with me, but who can teach what? So therefore, in hiring, I also need to think of teachers who have more certification. Like, for example, if I want a science teacher, for biology, do I prefer a teacher who is only certified in biology, or do I prefer a teacher who can also perform the same way, who has certification in composite certification? It means that he can teach science, all sciences, chemistry, physics, biology. So it helps me distribute workload with more certifications of teachers, because it means that I will be able to utilize my teachers properly and fully. Third is credential. We have to consider credential. Two teachers may have exactly the same certification, but one is more successful in terms of student growth, or in terms of having relationship with the with gifted students. So if I have AP classes, I have to consider giving this AP class to a teacher who does not only have certification for the specific subject, but also the credential to teach AP classes. It means, are they at a higher level thinking, or have they been successful? So for example, I will just give myself as an example. I know I can teach biology without thinking because I'm a veterinary graduate, but then can I teach AP classes at a college level? I can. So if I am with a BS education in science, I will, if I'm an administrator, I will choose myself because I know that content-wise, I can do, I'm more proficient, most likely, in terms of, like in biology. So giving workload, at times people think that this administrator is unfair because he gave me two preps. This administrator is unfair because AP classes, which are higher, why is it always given to this specific teacher? Because we are at a teacher mindset, but as an administrator mindset, it's different. We want to utilize our teachers where students will benefit the most. So I'd rather give that student the best teacher that they could have based on content, based on relationship, and based on results. So as teacher coming here in America, we have to consider that always. What is our impact? It's not just teaching. It's not just going through, the day and making sure that you taught. Because the question is, you taught it. Did you teach it? Yes. But did the students learn it? Because there is the difference between teaching and learning. It's like, oh, I don't know why my students got low scores, but I taught it. But did they learn it? That's the question. You taught it, but did they learn it? So that's how we do workload. And of course, a lot of people would say that I'm being punished because I'm a good teacher. So now I'm given more loads. Or I'm being punished because I have more certification. I'm giving more more preps. But we also have to think of it in a positive way, that when situations change and you need to look for a job, you are more marketable. You are more marketable because you have more certification. You are more marketable because you can teach more science courses as compared to just teaching one, which is biology. So we have to also think like, yeah, at times it looks like it's unfair to me, but these are administrative decision making that we have to do, because always at the bottom line, it's always students. Students, we are here for students, student success. We advocate for students. So now the thing is, okay, now what happens? Burnout. Burnout, because we expect so much from the teachers. We expect excellence every day. We expect teachers to be second parents. We expect teachers to do everything for the students. And now I am burned out. What will I do? And that's where we actually come with a recognition. Celebration. We celebrate our teachers. We openly celebrate them in front of our students, in front of the whole faculty, in front of the community. I am actually happy that this year our Teacher of the Year comes from my department, because we always, always, always expect excellence. And these teachers are hungry for for content, for improvement. They always excel. They don't think of this as extra work. They think of it as a means to grow. One way in celebrating our teachers is, for example, for me, I would go around and I just drop off food for my students, for my teachers rather. I'm not a classroom teacher, for my teachers. And my teachers are so very familiar with lumpia in Shanghai. My teachers are very familiar with barbecue, because I just move around. We don't have time to gather at times, so I just like move around from one room to another. So I think because I've been moving from different departments, math, social studies, whatever. So the teachers already know, oh, I will miss your lumpia Shanghai, because they know I feed my people. That's one way of recognizing. That's one way of celebrating them. Another way of recognizing and supporting teachers and helping them with the burnout is being there, especially in discipline. That is what makes teachers tired. not really all the work, because they love teaching. They love preparing. They love to be successful in the classroom. The problem is, how can they be successful if there is one student who messes up everything they have prepared? So the best support is to be there all the time. When teachers call you, there's a discipline problem, go there, be there. Teachers don't even have to call us. We just go around. When you come in, the students know that's an administrator, I cannot mess up. She can just pull me out anytime. And we also have referrals. How many days do referrals sit in the system without even looking at it? So I want to make sure that I'm on top of it. And I think that's one thing that the teachers actually tell me that we're known for that. We know that referrals do not sit on your table. We know that when we send it, you act on it. But the problem here is this. We also have burnout, administrative burnout, because you know what? Even if they are not our teachers, now they don't put it in the system anymore because it goes to another assistant principal, right? So they call me, can you come to my classroom? But I'm not I'm not your administrator. You're an extra load for me. But you need to go because they need to be supported. But that's how it is. Burnout is the lack of support. Burnout happens not really with the workload, because we love teaching. Burnout happens because they are so frustrated that they feel they are alone in the classroom and there is no one that is helping them.
Mhm.
And we are there, we are being present. We are growing them as teachers through professional development and all those coaching. Then we should be good. That is, I think part of the question is, how do we recognize them, right? And
Mhm.
so,
Or what specific action you have said that
yeah,
because
and another is professional growth. How do we address this, especially for the new teachers? As another guest told us, that we need to support our teachers, especially the ones who are new coming into the United States.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter if you're an assistant principal from the Philippines. It doesn't matter if you're a master teacher there. You need
Mhm.
professional development here. The system is so different. It doesn't matter. Like I'm a veterinarian. I know biology well, but I went through professional development because it's different. Knowing it as a medical doctor and teaching it to high schoolers are very different. So
Mhm.
we need a pedagogy so that we will be able to teach students in this kind of setting. It's so different. And so when you come in here and you feel that I don't need to be coach anymore, I already
Mhm.
know what this administrator is doing. I can even do the work of this administrator. Then you need to think again. You need to think again. When you come here, come with a humble mind, with a humble heart, and think of yourself as a learning. How can I learn from all of these experiences so that I will become a better teacher, and maybe later I can also be an administrator? And so one thing that we do is we build capacity for our teachers. We actually identify the teachers who will be able to give professional development to the whole community, like to the whole faculty. But what we do is we ask them to have the evidence, reflect
Mhm.
on that evidence, follow up on the teachers who attended their professional development, and actually check if those teachers are implementing what they learned from the professional development. So, like mid-year during December and end of the year, like at this time, we as administrators, I included, we meet with these teachers who are assigned to us and we give them feedback. This But before giving feedback, we want evidence. What happened to your presentation? Did you do well? How did the teacher perceive those? Were those implemented? Where's the student data analysis? Where's the student work? So that we can say that we're not just doing it out of compliance, we're doing it because we want to have an impact and we want to meet the goals when we started the school year.
Thank you so much for that well said and detailed information. Thank you so much, Dr. Loren.
Nildz, I'm going to
Yes,
say something to that. How I wish all of our administrators are just like Dr. Evangelista.
Dr.
I mean,
Tito.
yeah, or
I
Dr. Tito. I am speaking on the teacher mindset.
mindset.
I'm
Yes.
going. If I'm going to have these two professor
Yeah.
administrators right here, I don't think I
I
will
will not
retire.
retire.
Okay,
They're
so
so
we're
awesome
running
and
out of
excellent.
time. We will proceed to our, so we will let Dr. Tito
Tito.
to respond to our question today before we proceed to our last one.
Yes.
Dr. Tito, um, you know how collaboration and engagement work, right? Different institutions, different schools, different administrators have the way of collaborating and engagement in their own school. My question to you is, how does it look like in your school, collaboration and engagement between your institution or your school and a larger community of yours?
Mhm.
How does it look like?
Yeah, so thank you, Ma'am Cora, for that question. So again, as a school, we cannot do it ourselves. We always have, we need also support from the parents. Well, the parents and the community as a whole, the stakeholder.
Mhm.
Um, and so what we do is we reach out to them. We explain to them, these are the things what we need. What can you do? What can you help us? Because we always believe that collaboration within with the community is vital for the success of our students. And so sometimes I always believe with the saying that you have not because you ask not, right? So that's why we reach out to the community. We ask them, this is what we're going to do for our students, and what can you do for us? And on top of that, we also provide newsletters to our parents. We provide also the what's going on in the school through our social media. We have and we use also our website of the school where we blast all the activities through pictures and videos what we have been doing in the school. We also have community nights, community day, where we invite our where we encourage also our students who are like new business. They're trying to open their businesses. We're trying also to invite other businesses to come during our community day. We also invite our health professionals to come and support our parents, especially in immunization and other things that we can provide. Even we invite our local governments, like city mayors, the councilors, just to be with the community. Also in the school, we provide also family nights where we talk about the success of our students, our struggle as a school, particularly attendance. That's always an issue. And then our principal would always do a state of the school where we have meeting with all our parents, and we also do our we provide data based on attendance, based on behavior, um, based on our budget as well, because it's always important that you have to involve the community, let them know what's going on. And on top of that, we also have a coffee and donuts with our principal. With the principal, also have an intimate meeting with some of the parents. And that meeting also, that's where we hear some of their concerns, some of their the issues that we need to be that needs to be done and needs to be addressed. And so all of these activities that we're doing, we're doing it for our students. So it's really vital and important that we have this collaboration, because like we cannot do it ourselves.
Well,
Thank you, Dr. Tito. That is really, amazing to hear right from your statement that it certifies how other schools do the same thing, and how we connect to our community and make it as an example for those
mm,
other schools that who are really challenged with community engagement as well as collaboration. So
mm.
with that, thank you for all of those inspiring statement that you have given us. Now we're moving on to our last, because we really wanted to stay longer, but then we need to end this out. My last question is this, okay? It's an open question. You're going to start with I am, and then you state your name, and then you will say, I am Corazon
Yeah.
Flores, Filipino administrative leader because, and then you continue the sentence. Okay? So we would
Can we
like to
start
start
with Dr.
with,
Loren?
say it again.
Can we start with Dr. Loren? Is she
Yes,
ready?
please.
Hi, I'm Dr. Evangelista. I'm a Filipino administrative leader because I was brought up to excel, make an impact, and be of service to others.
Awesome. Wow. That's awesome.
Okay,
Thank
so
you, Dr. Evangelista.
our
How about
next,
Dr. Tito?
Oh, thank you, Ma'am Nildz. So, again, I am Dr. Tito Villosillo, a Filipino American transformative leader, because I am passionate about creating an inclusive learning environment with my students where all of my students and teachers can thrive and survive.
Wow. Those are awesome, statements. And we thank you for that because we're always proud of our culture. We're always proud that Filipinos are, moving into a higher ladder in education and keep up the great job. We're really so impressed with everything that you have done for not only in your school, but also in your community. People can see how great, you as a leader in every aspect of your life because teachers are not only teachers but of course you do that with a passion, commitment, and dedication as an educator. So for me, continue the great job. Yes, ma'am. Cora.
right, Dr. Liz. And besides, we wanted to show others that it is not only that the teachers, Filipino teachers, are suited or good in the classroom. You have not seen a lot of Filipinos who became leaders in their own school, in their own district. In my district alone, we have around 15 school principals and more than 20 assistant principals. We also have coach, teacher coach, and academic leadership positions that we wanted to show everyone that we have the opportunity here to grow. And you have seen from our distinguished guests how far have they gone through their position here in United States. For those of you who are willing to move up, listen, and you have heard our panelists today that speak up and then related their stories on how they are as a school leader, as an administrator. Pilipino sila, school leaders. So if they have done it, you could do it too. So that's
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
We
Ma'am
thank
Cora.
everyone.
Yes,
Okay,
Ma'am
go ahead,
Cora,
Dr.
before
Neil.
we close, thank you so much for all your statement or feedback. I'd like to ask our distinguished guests for a closing remarks. So we would like to, as we are closing, we would like to hear one more time if you have something to share to our viewers. We'll start with Dr. Tito, please.
Well, if there are some teachers out there listening to our show today, I would say that don't be afraid. Always believe in yourself. We as Filipinos are naturally achievers. And so go out there and present yourself and achieve those dreams. You can do it.
Thank you.
Thank
That is
you.
excellent. Yes, Dr. Evangelista.
I have never been prouder as a Filipino until I came here to the United States.
Mhm.
I just appreciated all the values that I have learned back home in the Philippines. And I have learned that we are real, like, bunch of not only believers, but hard workers. And of course, we excel. So don't have that second thought. Grab the chance and come over here. We need you.
Yes, and I agree with you. We are being recognized here, but in the Philippines, we're not. I can attest to that. So thank you so much for that. Um, of course, do we have any comments or feedback, Krisha, that we can read? Do you like to read that, Ma'am Cora? I think we have.
Uh,
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
magandang umaga po. Coming from that's my daughter, I believe.
Yes. Hi, Maya.
Okay, magandang umaga po sa lahat. This is coming from Melvin. Thank you for watching, Melvin. From Roger. Good morning. Being assistant principal is difficult. I feel like I need to be the bridge between the teachers and the principal.
I think we need
Rod,
to have to invite Roger next time.
no, we already did in our season one. We got,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and we're going to let him come back. Roger
Okay.
is used to be a J1 teacher, and then after two
Uh-huh.
years, he came back and
Uh-huh.
became an H1 visa teacher.
Lisa.
And
Awesome.
you see the ladder that he moved. Now
Yes.
he is an assistant
That's
principal.
principal.
Congratulations,
Congratulations,
Roger.
Roger. And of course, we have our fellow PACC chamber, Margarita Trong. She's watching. Thank you so much. Our very own president of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Attorney Eileen Dizan. Thank you for watching. And we have also Apple May from Spring ISD. Thank you for watching. And by the way, Dr. Tito and Dr. Loren, if you want to have a recording of what we have you have shared here, please have it viewed by your teachers, and because this is recorded and you can get it through YouTube and of course our Facebook, so you can always show it to them, share to them what you have done today, because we are across, not only here in the United States, Philippines, but across the globe. So this is what Lawin Media is all about, which is our big sponsor. Yes, Ma'am Cora.
Thank you again to my dear professor, Dr. Villosillo, and Dr. Evangelista for gracing our show today. You have enlightened our teachers, not only here in United States, but also across the globe. Thank you so much for giving us your time, your expertise. Salamat, salamat.
And please don't say that this is the last. No, we will be also inviting you when you become a principal. No, I'm just teasing you. No, of
No,
course.
pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. I'm be sure of that. So thank you so much again, Dr. Loren. And I'm hoping to see you in person one of these days, okay? Because she's our neighbor here. She lives in Mesquite. So we're kind of close to one another. Dr. Tito, when we go to, you're in Louisiana,
Maryland.
No, I'm
Maryland.
Maryland.
Maryland? Okay, I'm gonna be going to Philadelphia. Maybe we can see each other. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. And with this, we would like to thank also our viewers. Ma'am Cora, I would like to thank our amazing and regular followers. Shout out to our golden girls of Brownsville, Texas, especially Mommy D, the Nugrao, and all the wonderful ladies of the beautiful group. Love to Marlene Arceo from Pangasinan, and to all the Pangasinan us, and of course, fellow educators around the world. So please continue your support, positivity, and of course, energy that truly brightens our community. Maraming salamat po.
Dr.
And
Neil, pahabol
yes,
ako.
yes,
Si Dr. Tito is a PN, normal college,
Philippine Normal
university graduate,
University.
right?
Yes,
Sa Cebu, right? Doc, and calling all PNU graduate, we are
yes,
going to have a reunion, global union on July 25 and 26, Las Vegas. If you are interested, I will post it in my Facebook page, Cora Flores, and then just I am me. I will send you the link, and we are going to have our reunion.
reunion.
The purpose of that reunion is that we are going to build a teachers museum right at Philippine Normal University in Taft Avenue. So come and join us, and we all see you there. Our initiator of this, or PNU graduates batch 1965. Okay,
Oh,
1965.
wow.
So welcome you
Yes.
all. Come and join us. And see
And
you all
parting
next
words.
week.
Yes, and
Right?
parting words, Ma'am Cora, is Proverbs 11:14. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. So this is how we reflect the importance of wise leadership, collaboration, and decision making. With example are the distinguished guests that we have. Again, Dr. Tito and Dr. Loren, thank you so much. Please watch our next episode, second, on May 16th. The theme is part 2, auxiliary or non-teaching support. That includes the diagnosticians, our speech therapists, occupational, and other counselor. What's our topic, Ma'am Cora?
Our topic is the same thing. It is just a
Oh,
part
yeah.
two of what we're going to have. Yeah?
All right.
Okay. Kapit bisig, Filipino tayo. Okay? Thank you
Yes.
so much. See you all next in the next 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.